is OverDrive with Hayes, Noodles, and the O-Dog on TSN 1050.
All right, here we go. OverDrive off and running. TSN 1050 on the TSN app, your home smart speaker, and up on TSN 4. Brian Hayes, O-Dog, Jeff O'Neill, Jamie Noodles McLennan.
What's going on?
What's going on?
Hazy, I thought about you a lot this weekend, and the reason being, we'll get to all the great sports stuff. I was thinking about a scenario where you went on an all-timer heater about the Leafs. And then me or Noodles piped up and said, the only reason you're thinking that is because you're a non-player. And
Why would you say that? Why would
Ryan
you
Clark,
say
you're
that?
going Ryan Clark on me?
Oh
Is that
yeah,
what you're
because
telling me?
I could just see, like, if you want an all-time rant, and then one of us just said, listen up for a second there, Hazy B. The only reason you're saying that is because you're a non-player. And I've never seen you like walk out of the studio.
Yeah.
That might have been the day if that ever happened.
that would probably lead to an explosion, and then I'd come over the top, and it would get ugly. You know what's crazy is they're in Chicago for the Monday Nighter right now. Ryan Clark and Peach
I think
Schrager, they're both on the panel right now in Chicago.
Are they doing like a Ryan Clark apology to say, listen, man? Because I know he said something on Twitter, but they got to go on the air and, like, they got to clean that. Ryan Clark's got to clean that up. He's getting roasted.
You know what I really – there's a part of me that really appreciates his apology. If you go back and look at his timeline – he's live tweeting a game and then sneaks in the apology and then gets right back to the live tweeting.
No.
Yes, he did that.
No, I know, but you can't. Like, it's got to be.
That.
You got to stop live tweeting the game, and you got to do some kind of video message
or something.
Take a minute.
Like,
take an hour.
The apology, and then literally like right back, like just weighing in on the game. Like, it's almost like he was like, I got to do this, and then just keep going on.
Exactly what it was, Noodles. Exactly what it was. I think it was Friday night. Like, what a play by Mahomes. That was incredible. Wow, look at Kelsey. I can't believe it. Sorry about earlier today, Peter. Anyway, whoa, that's a turnover. Like, it was crazy when you look at his timeline.
Dude, I respect the Schlegel. I respect the Schlegel dudes, kind of, when he said, don't belittle me like that. But what needed to happen was Orlovsky or one of the other guys should have said, RC, what the hell are you doing?
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
That's what needed to happen for them to, like, for that to stop immediately and say, because I remember Bobby Mack, I forget who the player was, but somebody said to Bobby Mack, well, you didn't play. And Bobby Mack did not take a liking to that. And that thing went to commercial, and Bobby Mack had some words to say about that.
Absolutely.
It's fair. I mean,
absolutely.
You just can't do it, man. You can't do it.
Listen,
and it's disrespectful, too. Like, you know, he knows – you know when you say that, you're like, it's condescending. Like, it's talking down to somebody. That's what it is. And it's wrong.
It's
it's talking
very
down
awkward.
to somebody. It's basically saying to somebody, you have no idea what the hell you're talking about.
It's very awkward. And listen, the three of us have worked together for a long time. I think like Schrager, they were giving an opinion on the game. This has always been my stance. We all watch the game. Whether you played, didn't play, no one has exclusivity over any of it. Our show, the show down the street, the show in the next country, everyone watches the game, has an opinion. You can agree or disagree, and that's what they were doing. If I wade into something that I shouldn't be wading into, like if I start saying, well, you know, I'm sure on the team planes, that's when you could say, dude, you don't know what happens on the team planes. That's reasonable to say, how would you know that?
You do know what goes on team planes.
To an extent, and I wouldn't do that, and I'm not saying Peter would, but like, this was about which player played better. Like it was absurd to drop that with this context, right? It would be like, oh, well, in the room after a loss, I could see them being like, dude, you got to, I don't know. It's different for players. We've done it with all due respect. Having an opinion on who played better the night before is just a wild time to drop that grenade.
It was
wild, awkward timing.
There was, I mean, I'm glad you brought that up, because I was going to shame myself to start the show, because I'll be honest, at 40-25, I was curtains. I was so tired.
You weren't
last
alone,
night.
man. A lot of people were doing that.
I had the night before had gone out and late night went to see Brett Kissel and Barry. Police force up there, unbelievable. Shout out, awesome. But I didn't have any sleep because I was up early Sunday, and it was a great NFL day yesterday. Unbelievable games. But I was at when it hit 40, I was like, okay, that's it. They didn't have it, and Lamar's on fire. I turned over and went to sleep, and woke up at 2:00 in the morning. I'm like, they won.
I know.
I think I took a peek at Twitter, taking a leak or something. I'm like, what?
It was shocking.
Won.
It was shocking, and could you imagine? I saw a couple of buddies this morning who had big money on Baltimore. They went to sleep.
Yes.
So they're thinking okay, I just cashed big money, love the Ravens, and then you add that to your going to the washroom at 3 a.m. Where you're like, oh my God, I lost the bet. But
outrageous.
I had a very similar situation last night. I have already been put on warning. My wife gave me the warning last night, probably the earliest time it's happened all year, because I was watching a game, and she wanted to watch a show, and I said, listen, I'm not coming up until the game's over. I'm going to watch the game. And then I made my way up at 40-25, and I'm looking at my phone. All of a sudden, it's 40-32, and they've created the fumble, the turnover. They obviously get the turnover from Derrick Henry, and I start going nuts. And I'm going, give me the remote, give me the. I start yelling, and I'm flipping it over, and she goes,
give me the remote.
I start yelling, and she looks at me and goes, are you insane? The kids are asleep. Shut up. What are you doing? And she goes, I hate that football's back because you're such a lunatic. I was yelling and screaming, and they punch it in. They go for 2, they miss again. It was the most incredible theater. That's the game of the year.
Yeah.
And we're not even all the way through week 1. It was incredible last night.
Well, I
Buffalo.
talked about Hurts putting kind of a statement, if he continues to play like that week in and week out, he might be he'll be up for an MVP. It was just a dominant performance.
Yeah.
But Josh Allen was just
that's
hold my
ridiculous.
beer. That was a good Hazy B call, maybe the back-to-back. And I want to ask you this, Hazy. If somebody from a totally different part of the world showed up and just ran into you at a coffee shop and said, after yesterday, all you saw yesterday, I want to get on board with one NFL team this year, would you tell them your team, the Green Bay Packers, who were impressive in their own rights?
They were good yesterday.
Dude, they looked so legit,
So good.
just top to bottom, all facets of the game. Their quarterback had this veteran presence about him, the way he was throwing the football. He looked really good. That was the first time. Remember the first time we ever watched that guy play in KC when his parents were up on the top row? He was terrible.
Last row.
That was
last row.
Yes.
That was tough.
He has come a long way. But they looked really good. Or would you say jump on board with Buffalo? Someone just came and said, I want to jump on board. What team are you telling them?
Yeah, I think I'm still sticking with Buffalo as much as
over your team.
Hey, listen, I said when we had Patrick on last week, I said Green Bay, Buffalo, Super Bowl. I guess I'm sticking with that. I was remarkably impressed by Green Bay. Remarkably impressed. Now, I wasn't overly impressed by Detroit. They got a lot of things to clean up, right? The different coordinators. They've lost their center. I was very impressed with Green Bay. But the reason why I go to Buffalo is because of Josh Allen, and that's at the forefront of my argument for why I think they're going to win. He's won more playoff games than anyone in history who has not reached the Super Bowl. I think Kansas City's taken a step back. I feel better about that after I saw Friday night. I think they're going to take a step back, so I'm not convinced Buffalo's even going to play them in the playoffs. Them finding a way to get that win puts them in the driver's seat for the first seed. I get it's so early in the season. It's one game. But I think they're going to cruise in the AFC East, and I think they're going to finish with that top seed. And you look at Allen, what he did in the fourth quarter, we've never seen anyone do that before. Over 250 yards passing in the quarter. He accounted for 3 touchdowns. They were, at one point...
outrageous.
The win probability...
Didn't he have 2 rushing
99.
as well?
Yes. They were 0.9, weren't they? It was 99.1, wasn't it?
Yes. With 4 minutes to go or whatever, they had a 0.9 percentage chance of winning that game. Not only did they win, they won in regulation. That's how good Josh Allen is. And yes, the Bills' defense was leaky, but the Ravens are so good that I think you got to give them credit more than you take it away from Buffalo's defense. And I'm just not betting against Josh Allen. I'm not going to do it. The guy, he has perfected the position almost. He's that good. And I just think they got the mojo going for them. What a way to start their season. I'm on Buffalo, man. I'm not moving off that, considering what I saw last night.
It was outrageous, though. And I we're in this market, and it was like, this is 4 minutes left, and 12 minutes left. Like, that's what I thought of. The first thing I thought of, I'm like, that's going to come up here on this show, talking about it. But that's the type of comeback they had. Now the Ravens got some issues. Apparently, they've left some games on the table in the fourth like that. Like
John Harbaugh, man. John Harbaugh, as a head coach, has blown 17 double-digit second-half leads.
That is outrageous.
Yes.
Well, what did you think of them giving the ball back to Josh Allen? Isn't that kind of like redonk?
So I'm glad you bring that up, because I think when
same as Mahomes, it's like you don't give him the ball back.
Yeah,
absolutely,
don't let it happen.
When the dust settles, that was the play of the game. As great as Allen was at times, Lamar's escape, Derrick Henry doing what he was doing. The essence of football right now, if I'm an owner in the league, this is what I would do after watching Harbaugh do that last night. The play you're speaking of was 4th and 2 or 4th and 3.
2.
Yeah, 4th and 2 from their own side of the 50 late in the game, and they decide to punt. I am sending an email out to my coach if I'm an owner in the league.
Dude, I'm in the same boat.
Saying, if you ever punt in that situation to Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, or Lamar Jackson, I'd include him, you're fired. Immediately.
Yeah.
You're fired. Because I would rather go for it, get stuffed, and lose than punt and lose. Because when you punt to that freak, you're losing, man.
Yes.
Like, there's no way he's not marching down the field. It's just like Mahomes. It's just like Lamar. If you're punting to anyone else, I'm okay with that. I'm not punting the ball to Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson when there's time on the clock and I have a chance to lose. I'm not doing it. At 4th and 2. 4th and 6, that's different. 4th and 10, 4th and 15, that's different. 4th and 2 with Derrick Henry and Lamar Jackson, when I've been running down their throats all night, I'm not handing the ball back to Josh Allen.
No way.
No chance.
No way.
No
Especially
chance.
when he's on a heater like that.
Yeah.
Like, they had all the momentum, everything. I mean, I'm embarrassed talking about it because I had to go back and watch it today.
Right.
Like, I should have been watching that live. But I think a lot of the natural instincts was like, yeah, it's 40-25.
Yeah.
We're good here.
The probability of them coming back to win the game was 0.9%.
Yes.
And people were storming out of there. There were a lot of people that left the building.
Yeah.
And a lot of people, like, immediately, I was getting tweets from people in Western New York. They have where they're from and saying, well, it's probably Toronto people that left early.
Oh,
like, why are we
serious.
taking the – yeah, don't give us the shrapnel.
You're right.
What percentage of the population in that building is from Toronto? I mean, there's a small percent, but I don't think it's massive.
I don't think it's massive. And Southern Ontario might account for, 10, 15% of the
Probably,
building?
but a good chunk. But
20%
still,
maybe?
It's.
I love that. Just the Toronto people leaving.
Yeah,
The only thing
exactly.
is-
wasn't us in Buffalo. It was Toronto. Of course it is.
To be honest, though, if you had to get back over the border, you're like, 40-25. Like, I would.
Yeah.
If I was there with my family, I'd be like, okay, get in the car, let's go. We've seen enough. Like,
You would be-
it's fair, but you're right. It's only 10%, but I guarantee you the bridge was packed when they made the comeback.
And that
I
would
will
be
say that.
It would be excruciating to be driving over the border knowing that Allen has the ball back.
And he's on fire.
And he's
like,
charging.
Casually have it on the radio in the car.
Yeah. Fumble. You're like, oh, God, he's going to do it. You knew it. When Derrick Henry fumbled that ball, you just knew it. You knew what they were about to do. Just an incredible football game. An incredible day overall because O and I miraculously have 3 tickets still in our survivor pool.
Wow.
We went 3 for 3, which is a borderline miracle.
Dude, every year we've lost. Last year we lost 2 teams on the first day.
Yeah, that's right. We were handshaking twice on the first day.
Outrageous.
Well done. Good season.
I feel like there's a few kickers. At least Cleveland's kickers got to be handshaking today.
I think so. Well, you know what? To put a bow on the Bills game, and we'll come back to it with Luke at 5.
Yeah.
Matt Prater, that kick almost got blocked. Like,
Dude, no kidding. I forgot to mention
There
that.
was an
It was
arm in
like
there.
a split second. There was one guy that just reached his right hand out, and you could tell after he was like, "Oh my God, I almost got that punt." Or
absolutely.
That kick.
He just missed it. And that would have killed the Prater story. Then they lose. Because the Prater story is really cool. Like the guy, red eye on Thursday night, doesn't know anyone. He just got called in. Bass is on the IR. and he goes out there and he kicked brilliantly last night and ends up winning it because I was nervous for him, like not knowing him, but he's a veteran and he's a new guy. You go in there and doink that kick or something, man, you're not getting out of Buffalo alive. People are going to freak. You might get cut immediately. You just got there like 72 hours ago.
Dude, as much as we're talking about the positive stories, like there was some like Dolphins fans yesterday.
Oh.
Don't bury the lead. Don't bury the lead. Who buried the Dolphins? Who was
Danny Dimes?
Danny Dimes.
I was
buried
watching
them.
that, and they were. That's what made Dable look so stupid yesterday. It was like Danny Dimes goes out there and he looks like Peyton Manning now. You've got to be kidding. First Saquon, and then Danny Dimes goes out there and he looks like an absolute stud.
That's right.
And then Dable after the game is like, I don't know who we're going to go with next week. Why did you need to go out there and get Russ? Honestly, why did you need Russ? Why did you need to get Russ? And then he's like, I still have confidence in Russ, and he's our guy. What are you talking about?
You don't have confidence,
Russ
and he's
was
not your guy.
Throwing the ghosts.
Yeah,
like
he was
I don't know
brutal.
who he was throwing it to.
He was brutal.
And then our boy Aaron Rodgers. I watched that game. Like
Credit
that was
to him.
My buddy came over. He's a huge Steelers fan. We watched that right from first snap.
That was a great football game. It was a
really
great
good
game.
one.
Now, I do think you got to remember he beat the Jets.
Yes.
Right?
Yes,
Like, I'm not willing to get to a point where it's like, this guy, he's still in the MVP chase, right? But he threw for 4 touchdowns. He looked really good, really mobile. It's still the Jets, but you went in there on the road, hostile environment. Fields actually played pretty well. The Steelers' defense wasn't great, and he found a way to win. Yeah. So, credit to Aaron Rodgers. Credit to the Steelers and Mike Tomlin. That was a great game.
It was. And you know what? The one thing that kind of made me smile afterwards, Rodgers he was getting interviewed. He had a slight bit of humility. Usually he's got that smug kind of, comment, backhanded comment.
He did also say, I wanted to beat everyone associated with the Jets.
He
somehow he was getting screwed over at his tenure there. Come on, dude.
He did say that. That was after he had some time to collect his thoughts and go, I am going to take a shot at my former organization. But on the field, he said, I love these guys. It was great to win. I can be better. And I was like, that's the first time I've heard that guy say that in a long time, regardless of what was going on. But you're right. He did collect his thoughts and then go take a run at them in his presser.
You knew
afterwards.
that was coming. Once he got the Jets, you knew they were all going to take a little bit of heat.
Yeah.
But it is great to have the NFL back. We got another game tonight. Luke will be in at 5. You guys, Owen Wilson on the clock with the pick tonight. Vikings-Bears, battle of the NFC North. So we'll catch up with Luke. Tim Kirkchin in just over an hour. The Jays dropped 2 of 3 against the Yankees. Off today at home against Houston. Huge series starting tomorrow. Now they got a 2-game lead on the Yankees, and yesterday it was about tipping pitches and the Yankees relaying pitches and Schneider acknowledging it publicly. We'll play that. Get into it a little bit later on with Tim. The NHL's doing their media tour down in Vegas, and the Leafs sent an interesting player to go down there, and I think it's a smart play. I'll tell you why I think it's a smart play. I'm curious what you guys have to say about it. We'll get into that. We got picks today. We got a lot to recap coming off the weekend. Overdrive continues. TSN 1050 and on TSN 4.
Week 1 of the NFL wraps up tonight on TSN 1050 as J.J. McCarthy makes his Minnesota Vikings debut against Caleb Williams and the Chicago Bears. Coverage starts at 8 p.m. Hear it all on TSN 1050. The NFL lives here. Now, back to Overdrive with Hayes, Noodles, and the O-Dog.
All right, Overdrive continues, powered by FanDuel, bringing you everything from the opening line to the final score. Luke Wilson in studio at 5. Owen Wilson on the clock tonight. Vikings-Bears. Tim Kirkchin in just over an hour on the Jays, dropping 2 of 3 at Yankee Stadium. Vladdy was outstanding, man. He loves that park. He was so good.
I told Keegan that. I'm like, of all the guys that needs to step up in that series, because everyone else around him had been carrying the mail, it was Vladdy, but they couldn't get it done, man.
Couldn't get a big hit yesterday. It was very frustrating. Yeah. And Bichette, I was surprised he came back after the rain delay and then didn't play yesterday. That I didn't get.
Well, the only thing, if you're a pro athlete, you understand.
Hey, relax.
Well, this is something that you would understand.
Okay.
Sometimes you wake up the next day and it's like, this is just not good right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the
like adrenaline
going.
wherever, whatever it is, you just find a way to get it done that day. But the next day you wake up, it's like when you get hit with a puck in the face or something. The next day you wake up and you just can't even see out of it.
Right.
So it must have been just so stiff for precaution. I don't know. But you would thought he was going to play.
Yeah, I was shocked he came back after the rain delay, and I'm guessing contusion, and they're off today. I'm sure he'll be playing tomorrow, but yeah, you're probably right. He probably slept on it, and
he
couldn't move.
When he woke up.
Yeah, he couldn't move.
But they needed him.
Big time.
It sucks.
They need him big time.
You know, 1 of 3. I mean, it's not the worst thing in the world, but now the Yankees are sniffing.
Yeah, they are.
2 is sniffing.
They're sniffing.
You know,
they're sniffing.
That's the little concern there, right?
What's concerning me, Noodles, is like they just look like they're, whether it be Scherzer like wearing down and the magic, the shines come off. They look like they're just running out of everything almost. You know what I mean? Like gas, performance. They've been hitting well, but they just need to get some energy and get fresh again, because it looks like in certain areas of the games, it's like, how much is in the tank in that pitcher? Is this guy going to get it back? Because they need it. It's not like they're one of those teams that are so dominant that they can coast. They need all aspects of their game to get this done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they got to get across the finish line now. You've gone this far. You know, you're obviously going to make the playoffs, but you got to win the AL East.
Yeah, you can't.
You have to now. You've got to hold on. And they have the tiebreak on the Yankees, so they're still in the driver's seat. Right? All those cliches are going to be thrown out, but they're accurate. It's their own destiny. They can control it. But you're not going to play the Yankees again, right? Yeah. You're not playing them again. You're playing the Red Sox soon. Houston's a tough opponent. It's a battle for that third wild card spot now, because Seattle all of a sudden can't win, so Tampa's back in the mix. They're playing for something. I think the Jays play them 2 more times. Kansas City's still in the hunt. Cleveland's in the hunt. So you're going to get tough games down the stretch, and there's a bit of a target on the Jays' back because they've been in the driver's seat for so long. So more on that in about an hour with Tim Kirkjian. The NHL, I guess, is doing their media rounds down in Vegas, having players represent every team down there. And I found it interesting that the Leafs sent Matthew Knies.
Good.
I like it a lot, though.
Dude, how many times? Like, imagine if Pittsburgh said to Sid, can you go down there for us? Like, Sid's been down there 20 years in a row. What's he going to sit on a couch with Colby Armstrong and tell the same, like,
I know, you got to spice it up, man.
No, you do.
I think this is, tell me if you think this is, if I'm looking into this too deeply. But
I already know what you're going to say.
This is your Marner replacement in terms of the marquee. This is your guy. Like, this is the guy now. Mitch is gone. You want the city to rally around someone. You want 23 jerseys to be sold. You want people to be buzzing about a guy that loves to play here, a guy that got his deal done quick. It's nice. Like,
that's an interesting take, Brian. But isn't Matthews the guy that usually goes?
I think they've all kind of gone. Tavares is gone.
I don't think McDavid and that. Like, I think some of the big stars took this one off.
They're just like, that's enough.
Well, and those
McDavid can't keep answering about his contract. That's the thing. He goes down there. He's going to explode soon.
Well,
like, he's going to snap on somebody.
But I do believe, like, a lot of those guys who went to orientation camps, I think the NHL media tour said, okay, like, let's take some alternatives.
Right.
And like, send some players that you would like to build up in marquee. And I agree. Like, Matthew Knies took a big step forward last year. I think we could argue he's part of that, the spine of the team, the core,
no
what do we
question.
call it, right? So send him. He's young, he's good looking, he's kind of got the whole package. So you're like, all right, let's have it. Like, I think it's the right play by the Leafs. Instead of rolling out JT or rolling out, Matthews again and half answers and kind of, we're here type of thing. Like, young, fresh guy. His first time there, and guarantee he's probably pumped to do it.
That's a big part of it. That's a big part of it. Is I think he's embracing this.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying he's not going to replicate Marner's production. He's not the same player. He's a very different player. But I think there's a door open here. Like, Matthews is at the top, and Willie's there, and Tavares is still there. But there's a door open now with Mitch gone. Like, he took up a lot of oxygen. There was a lot of focus on Mitch Marner. And I know this is about the outside. I'm not even talking about the Leafs necessarily, because they want to just be a team. I think they really want to get away from the core four and the star players, being the ones that kind of take up all of the talking points. But I think Knies has a real opportunity here to play the game right, like literally and figuratively on the ice. He's physical. He's big. He's tough. He can hit. He can fight. He goes to the net. People love that here. They love that here. You can be a blue-collar player, power forward. You know how much
produce.
people – and produce and off the ice. You embrace it. You know, like he's got quotes here. He caught up with The Athletic. I think Josh Cloak is down there. Knies said, quote, everyone's always going to tell you the cliche that pressure is a privilege and stuff, but I think it's honestly so much fun that there's so many people so invested in our group. I'd be upset with fans if they weren't unhappy with my game if I wasn't playing well. That's a great quote. Like, that's a great quote. And then he goes on to say, I want that feeling that I'm playing for the whole city. I don't really look at it as something that can tear me down. It's something that's going to make me better, end quote. That's the polar opposite of what the other guy said. You know, it's such a great way to start, like a new era here, and embrace the city and go out there and play hard, and people are going to love you. It's not hard.
Well, the other guys always were like, we tried our best or whatever, and it was almost like everyone's trying to screw us. We tried our best, but you're screwing us because you're mad at us.
Right. Or I don't read anything. I don't know what's going on out there. I don't care about this.
And there was some heroic elements to those quotes, like where it was like, I don't get, I'm not scared. I want the whole city to be invested in my game. Those are good PR quotes, man. Like, they might circle back on you pretty soon and be like, okay, pal, like you haven't got a goal in 8 games. Like, where's Mr. Toronto? But they're just, it's just good PR, as opposed to the other ones where it's like, doesn't everybody know that we're trying? Like, we tried to get it done. We love the city. It's just a totally different vibe. It's refreshing is what it is.
That's what I was just going to say. Isn't that refreshing to have some different other than cliche quotes? It's like, I want, bring it on me. Like, bring it. And I want to embrace it. And it is somebody different who has an opportunity to do that as well. Like, he does have an opportunity to take it to the next step. He's young. Like, he's still writing his story at the NHL level. Like, I look at, Willie goes down there, and, we all know what Willie Nylander is. He's 40-plus goal scorer, really good player, superstar, all of that. But he's not going to give you anything. Knies is giving you something, and we've been kind of begging for that.
Yes.
We're in the media. Obviously, we're begging for
I think fans are too, man. I think fans are looking for something fresh here. And it's not that he's a rookie. He's been here for a couple of years. But we know what Matthews and Willie and Tavares are all about. That's not a bad thing. I'm not disparaging them. I'm not saying that people don't like what they represent or how they operate or how they act. Playoff performances notwithstanding. But I do think, the further you get away from let the veterans kind of blend more into the team and allow someone else to take up some of the oxygen. And I think Knies has an opportunity to do that. Now, you guys always say it, quotes don't mean anything if you don't play.
Back it up, man.
You got to back it up. You got to go out there and perform. But this guy, you know what he's done early in his career is he's proven he's a playoff player. Like, he has scored some massive goals in the playoffs. And impressive goals in the playoffs.
But the
he's
moment
a gamer.
hasn't. That's the thing. The moment hasn't got the best of him. Now, again, it's a small sample size, but he's shown like, hey, I'm embracing it. Because it was a couple of years ago, he came out of college and he got bonked behind the net, right?
Yeah, Bennett got him in the second round. Yeah,
right. But outside of that, he's a guy that, hey, bring it to me. I feel like I can, give me the puck. I want to embrace it. So he's done a good job. Like, that's a guy now who is a core piece. He's signed long term. He's a big body. He's now going to be riding arguably shotgun with Matthews.
Well, that's it.
Nylander.
And just little things, Noodles. Like in Vegas, that one game where White Cloud got him in Toronto, and I think he started the game. He just dropped his gloves and said, "We're going to do this, and we're going to settle the score here." People love that. And you just said it, Brian. If you're kind of old school, and he's probably too young to remember how the way Wendell Clark played or Darcy Tucker, but just go out there and work your ass off. And if you can produce on top of that, you universally loved.
Yes.
Yeah.
Loved.
Yes. It's because that I guess is what we're driving at here, that there's two different styles of player that can be loved here. The skill is loved. Sundin is loved. Gilmore is loved. Sittler's loved. Salming's loved.
But nobody like Wendell or Ty or Tucker.
Exactly.
It's a different kind of love.
It is a different kind of love, and there's an avenue there for it. And I think he's a hybrid. He's not Ty Domi, clearly. Right. And he's not going to be Tucker. You're not going to fight 10, 12 times. That's not going to happen. But I think he can. I know he can throw his body around. I think he can be a force.
That's all he's got to do, and that's all
Yes.
people want to see. It's called
Absolutely.
working your ass off, and that's all Toronto fans want.
That's it.
I agree.
Exactly.
And he is, like I came back to it, he's writing his own story. Like, he doesn't have to follow in anybody's footsteps. He's like, hey, this is new to me. Like, I'm now kind of a year and a half in, whatever it is, couple of years. Now I want to be the man. Like, he has an opportunity to be one of the big players on this team. Like, you could argue by the end of this season, he'll probably be in the 3-hole as far as level of importance, correct? Like, Tavares is 35. I still believe John Tavares is a great player, and, pointing at whatever you want to say it. But there is going to be a time where Father Time catches him, and Knies is going to have to push him out and be, one of the go-to guys on this team.
Oh, I think he will be already, Jamie. Just what we just talked about. I think he is that already. Yeah. I don't think he has to wait for John Tavares to slow down. All the things that we just talked about kind of leapfrogs him from Marner's leaving town, and John. Yep. I think it's just what he can do, and if he brings it right away, he can be that guy. Like, he could just be that guy right away.
Yeah,
I agree.
I think that should be the expectation.
Yes.
I'm guessing. I wouldn't be surprised if Berube told him that. Like, people are worried. Marner's gone. You make sure that they're not worried about that. Like, you show up and play. That doesn't mean he's having 100 points or anything like that. But there's no reason he can't score 30 and 65 and be a force and be a very, very important staple on a line with Austin Matthews.
Right.
Like, there's no reason he can't do that.
No.
Going into his third full season, he should be expected to do that. They just paid him to do that.
Yes.
They gave him a pretty decent amount of money. It was, they got it done quickly, and it was great, and both sides are happy, but he's not on some, like, short-term, small-dollar deal. They committed to him. They invested in him. It's on him to play above that dollar amount the rest of his term.
It wasn't a bridge. It wasn't a bridge deal.
No, they went all in with him.
Yeah. Where'd they put $50 million in his pocket? A little bit more than 50.
Something,
right?
6 years at whatever it was, 8.5 or something like that. It was a good amount of change, man.
Yeah.
And I think he earned it. And I think that's the team saying we believe in you. And again, he's embracing this opportunity. And it's a big one for Knies. And he's not alone. There's going to be a number of new guys and number of guys who are going to come and go over the years. They're going to have to, step up. And obviously, if Austin's still here, it's going to be his show. And if Willie's here and Tavares and Morgan Riley and whoever's the starting goalie, like, that's just the nature of things. Those guys are always going to take up a lot of oxygen. But I think there's room for more.
Hayes, you mentioned McDavid blowing off about answering the question. He had a little, like, blurb where
he had
it
a
probably
blurb, right?
I know he did when he said, like, 4 years, 8 years, and then at the very end he said no years. I was like,
no years.
No term.
I was like, oh.
Do you think that was a Freudian slip, or do you think that was
intentional?
intentional?
I don't know, but I was like, you could have just sealed the deal with this and said, this is the last time. He controls the net. Like, he could just say, guys, this is the last time. Don't ask me again this year. But he was like, the term of it, if I want to go 8 years, 4 years, 2 years. And then at the very end, he said, no term?
No term.
Dude, that got people's heads just buzzing.
Of course it's going to, because his head will blow off his body. He's doing it himself. Like,
right. He can't complain about a reaction to a comment like that.
Reaction.
When you throw out no term as a possibility.
No term is a wild comment.
Seed.
That's a wild comment.
Is. And you know what? For him to not listen, he's going to have to talk about it every day until it's not a topic. Mm-hmm. He's the best player in hockey who doesn't have a contract for next season. That's just the facts. That's not us baking something up. That's not, a theory. And until he does something, my theory is still always been that I think he's going to bridge himself. And what I mean by that is a couple years and then, see what it looks like and push to the next level. And what I mean next level is like something with a 20 in it type of thing. Again, that's my theory.
So then what's the holdup on that, Jamie? If it's a bridge deal that's just like, okay, let's do a bridge. Let's get the number right. He's waiting to see something.
This is my weird theory, but if you have people asking about it every day, and it becomes a bone of contention, and you got anxiety about it, like when's he going to sign? Oh, geez, I don't know if he's going to sign, all of that. And if he goes on like this for like a month, and then he signs a short-term deal, doesn't people go, well, at least he signed something? Like, oh, like to me, it's almost like he's preparing, like, hey, just so you know, if this is a 2-year, it's not because I'm leaving in 2 years. It's like I want to see what this looks like. Mm-hmm. But you're almost getting people to beg for it, like, give us something, and then you give them like, oh, thank God he gave us something.
Right. It's the pendulum has swung so far the other way that Oiler fans would take anything to breathe easier.
Anything, exactly.
I think that's possible. Opinion. Now, again, the no term, what he may have just meant by that is I'm playing out the year and then we'll sign next spring. You know, like I'm going to play out the year, and then at that point I'll re-sign with Edmonton. But it is quite the comment for him to drop that. Like that, everything this guy does seems to be very calculated. It started again when he was at the Canadian Olympic orientation, and he said, my intention is to win in Edmonton. That, like, those are manipulative comments. Those are somewhat scripted. He's not a dummy. He's been working with his agent. He's been working with his PR team. And it just opens the door for craziness, you know, which I embrace because I think it would be just an incredible story. The idea of this guy becoming a free agent, like there's no parallel. Gretzky got traded, right? Like Gretzky got traded. Lemieux didn't go anywhere. Sid's still in Pittsburgh. Yeah. Gordie Howe spent his whole career in Detroit. There's no equivalent.
And Noodles, I know you said you like the changes at Edmonton, but maybe he's looking at it like, I'm not sure about it. I'm just not sure. And I don't know where the hell that goes because you're not moving out the players you just brought in there, the Mangiapanis and whoever else they've accumulated there. Maybe he's just not overly thrilled about that. Who knows?
There's so many different things. The problem is he's opened the door, and rightfully so. We'll be talking about it every day. Because until we have answers, all it is speculation. Mm-hmm. And speculation burns hot.
It does. And I think another comment he made that's important that could mean anything is, you know, he said you only get one career, you only get one chance at this.
I respect that. Like he's like, I poured my whole heart into this. And I'm going to do it my way.
That to me reads like I'm thinking of other spots because this would be the only time I could maybe go to that other spot. Wherever that happens to be. Whatever he's dreaming up, whatever he thinks would be best for him, that's what that comment said to me. You know, not that opened the door as much as no term did for me. Because it's like, hey, I'm not, you're going to hate me, but I've always wanted to go here or always wanted to do this, and this is my chance to do it, so I'm going to do it. You know, and if that's the case and it's leaving Edmonton, man, what a story that's going to be.
Yeah, and I honestly think if he decides in the next however long, he might come out with the heater comment saying, I probably won't sign until the year's over, so don't ask me again. Mm-hmm. Like he might come out with that heater.
Listen,
which will be nuclear.
It will be nuclear if he comes out with that. And he's got pressure on him anyway. But now, like it's tough to get a read based on social media because it's not real life. It's nowhere close to real life. But I think he's playing with the emotions of Oiler fans, where he's putting pressure on himself in that market. Like, if this is how we're going to play it, you better be great. Like, you are great, but you weren't as great as you could be last year.
Keep in mind,
you better be great this year for playing this game.
That is one thing that has come out of Edmonton when talking to people is we forget, like, there's a lot of people that thought he was the second best player on that team.
He was. He was. Draisaitl had a better year than him.
Draisaitl did have a better year. Now, you know, again, different. Look at context of everything. There was injuries. There was lots of weird things that went on. The last 2 years, this team has made the finals. They've had the strangest seasons. They fired their coach 2 years ago. Remember what it was?
Terrible start.
Like terrible starts. Yep. They've had wild things happen. Coaches fired, all of that.
And Jamie, maybe that's a part of his thought process, too, where he's like, we just went to the finals in the most bizarre ways 2 years in a row, and he's talking about a window and how he wants to win there. Is it actually possible or likely that we do it again? We get back there again and do what Florida did? Like, How many times have we seen that a team go to the finals 3 years in a row like Florida's done, and Edmonton's just automatically going to do it? I don't know if he thinks like that. Well, I really don't know.
He should put the pressure on himself to deliver that because, listen, he is the best player on the planet.
Yep.
And he does deliver special things.
I know, Jamie. You could say that he's got to deliver that, but they were also one get out of the zone away from not beating the L.A. Kings.
Fair. That's true. Like their season was very weird last
Bizarre.
year. And you could argue that the team the year before was better. That's the thing.
And now it changes again. They're going to be a really good team. Like they have McDavid, Draisaitl. They're going to be a very good team this year. But
like Ryan Nugent-Hopkins and Hyman didn't have great seasons last year. At home injured. Like there was a lot of Nurse and Bouchard started poorly. Stuart Skinner was like, I think what they need to do, and this doesn't help the distractions, is they need to get playing and get up to what they're capable of doing, and then all the other things will go away. But what happens is they haven't been able to do that the last 2 seasons at the start of the season, is get to their game. It's taken them a while to get there.
Right. Luke Wilson in studio in 15 minutes. Tim Kirkjian coming up on the Jays, dropping 2 of 3 against the Yankees. Houston in town tomorrow. Some weird fan interactions over the weekend, too. We'll get into some of those, and our best bet still to come. Overdrive continues. TSN 1050 and on the TSN app.
Week 1 of the NFL wraps up tonight on TSN 1050 as J.J. McCarthy makes his Minnesota Vikings debut against Caleb Williams and the Chicago Bears. Coverage starts at 8 p.m. Hear it all on TSN 1050. The NFL lives here.
Now, back to Overdrive with Hayes, Noodles, and the O-Dog.
All right, Luke Wilson coming up in studio in 10. We're still in pursuit of a new tagline here for the show, right? This campaign continues. And
got any possibilities for us to?
Well, yeah, I've had a lot of people send me DMs.
Yeah, I got a few good ones. My buddy Wade Fennig from, I played with him in junior.
Yeah.
He runs Gotham Steakhouse in Vancouver. Toronto's top line.
Oh, I like that. That's a good one. Okay, we can.
I like that.
I think that needs to be thought of. Apparently, I was giving that a vote down, but I don't mind that. I don't mind that.
I kind of like that. I mean, top line players. I felt pretty good about it.
It's got to have some element of stupidity to it. Like,
okay, well, so Steven wrote one in Overdrive: 3 mics, hot takes, 0 breaks. That's not bad. Like that's not funny necessarily.
Too busy.
Okay, what about this one? You'll like this. This is for Strutty. I think Strutty sent me this one. The Facebook marketplace of sports radio. Just an absolute circus.
That is awesome.
That is a pretty good one.
I don't know if the boss is pulling the trigger on that one.
I don't know either.
Well,
but
we would have to have Facebook as a sponsor.
Yeah, I don't know if Zuckerberg's in on this.
Yeah, exactly. Like Facebook marketplace of a show.
Yeah.
That is true. You never know what you're going to get.
You have no idea. You know it's going to be cheap and stupid and ridiculous. You have no idea what you're going to get.
That is actually a pretty good one.
Yeah. We got a couple more. So, we got a couple more days anyway. You can text us 105050. You can send us any messaging on Twitter, Instagram, whatever, TSN, TSN Radio, all of our accounts. Because we're still seeking out help here. We're going to narrow it down to, I don't know, 5 or 10 and then kind of take it from there. But we need a new tagline. We're desperate. Help us out here. All right. So, you could text us 105050 or, again, email us. You can tweet us, Instagram, whatever it is. Man, there was some wild scenes over the weekend with fan interaction. That Karen out in Philly stealing the ball from the dad was crazy.
She was such a hero, but the dad and the kid made out like a bandit. Didn't they get like an RV out of it now?
Look, the Karen was the Karen, but in her defense, that guy covered a lot of real estate from 40 seats over.
There's no rules on that. There's no rules on.
Be quicker, Karen. Be quicker.
Yeah.
Okay.
Get in there and grab the ball.
I don't know. She just seemed like she was protecting the house a little bit. Maybe she had a granddaughter there. I don't know. A daughter. I don't know. But the guy did the right thing. Right away, he's just like, look, take
this
the ball.
This guy being that stunned, though, is actually wild. It's somewhat embarrassing that he gave the ball back, and furthermore, that he was that stunned.
I wouldn't have given the ball back.
No chance I'm giving that ball back. If my kid's got it, there's no way someone's getting that ball back.
But he just didn't want to deal with the hassle. He didn't want to deal with the hassle. And then look what he got after. He got to meet players. Kid took pictures. He got everything, the full meal deal. Yeah. Dude, there was a guy at the tennis last week. It was a millionaire from
Now,
from
that guy
Portugal.
That guy
the guy
made a
stole a guy's hat.
And then
Did you not see that, Hayes?
I did, yeah.
And he
He
released a
stole
statement
a
saying,
professional
"Be quicker."
tennis player's hat.
That guy released a statement saying, "Snooze, you lose." Basically, that's like I actually respect the fact that he.
No,
was
he
like,
didn't say that. He goes, "I thought the hat was for me. I was going to give it to my kid." That was a greasy move that guy
was
pulled.
a remarkably gutless move because there was a kid right
Yeah,
beside
the
him.
kid with the long blonde hair looked at him and was like, "You greasy little weasel! You just did that and acted like you didn't do it."
And then people, of course, the internet got after him. Apparently, he owns like a CEO of a multi-million-dollar company, and then he kind of had to backtrack. But I swear to God, maybe the internet got me. I got duped on it. Didn't he release a statement saying?
I did not see a statement.
Please tell me he released a statement because maybe I got.
That sounds like he got duped because if he's like a CEO or something, then he's got to consider shareholders and stuff. He's not sending out a snooze you lose, statement.
What he said was, "I thought the hat was for me and I was going to give it to my kid." That was the only statement that guy released. And then there's the guy last night that pushed Lamar.
Right.
That guy.
Well, that guy's been banned. Yeah, like look at
There's
those.
the hat
Look
guy.
how young
and
those
he stuffs
kids
it in his wife's bag, didn't
Yeah.
he? It was like, okay, put that away.
Oh, what a loser! Like what? Just not mine now. Like what a loser move with the two kids there. And I kind of blame the athlete for not saying, "Hey, no."
Well, he didn't see it. He put his hand up with the hat and then turned and was signing, and it got taken out of his hand, assuming that the kid grabbed it.
I guess
apparently
so.
the tennis player was like, "What happened there?" He found out about it after and felt really bad about it. That's not his fault.
I'll give him a pass. A pass. But you're right. The kid that pushed Lamar last night, I believe he's been banned from Bills games. Lamar, to his credit,
gave it to him pretty good though. I thought for sure the fan was going to have a neck brace on TV today.
Me too, man. Especially in the States, and Lamar's worth a lot of money. And I'm conflicted on this because the Ravens shouldn't be anywhere close to Bills fans after a touchdown celebration. Like, why even put yourself in that position?
Right.
But no one should be touching players like that. And he gave Lamar a pretty good push. He gave D-Hop a pretty good push. But Lamar popped him, and then after the game, got out in front of it and was like, "My emotions got away from me. Because he was thinking, fine.
Yeah.
He's like, I better get out in front of this, man, or Goodell's going to freak."
I'm surprised he said anything about it.
Yeah, well, I think he knew.
I thought their team would have said, "Don't even we need to circle back and figure this out."
Just maybe pretend as if nothing happened there. All right, we got Luke coming up with the pick of the game tonight. We'll tee up the Monday Nighter. And Tim Kirkjian coming up on our best bets as well. Hour 2 next. Overdrive continues. TSN 1050 and on TSN 4.
TSN 1050.
If you smell what the
When Wilson
is cooking.
Well, the dynasty continued last night. Man, there's so much support for Hazen, bro. It's
sure there
just
is.
incredible to have the NFL back. There's Luke Wilson back with us in studio. Pro athlete salute.
Noodles, toss one up just for pro athletes.
All right. Well, I will. Yeah. You know what? I'm going to even it out because on Friday, Hayes, I did that weird thing that you and Alex brothers do.
I love it.
So I'm going to hand out a pro athlete salute just to even it out.
I'll be Peter
1-1.
Schrager. I'll Schrager this.
Wow.
It's now called the Ryan Clark salute.
The Ryan Clark salute.
What did you make of that, Partsy? The Ryan Clark comment.
Honestly, the guy's unhinged, and I don't mean that in a fun way. Like, it's one thing if he's unhinged and it's funny.
Right.
It's just ridiculous.
It's a wild
and it's like
comment.
Week after week after week after week, and you're just like, this has gotten to a point. It's almost like he keeps doubling and tripling down. Calling Peyton Manning not a generational talent.
What about Brady, dude?
Brady, even,
outrageous.
And it's outrageous. Like, what is your definition? And then all of a sudden from there, now all of a sudden Peter Schrager, who is like an extremely respected NFL guy. Like, even when I was playing, this guy is extremely respected.
Yeah.
To be like, no, you can't, have an opinion. Like, that's the non-player in you talking.
A wild comment. That's a wild comment.
And then the craziest part was when he tweeted the apology. I don't know if you saw this.
Yeah.
It was in the
Live
middle
tweeting.
of him live tweeting.
Yeah.
Trying to slide
what a throw
it
by
in.
Mahomes. Sorry, Pete. Wow, what a catch. Like, it was the greatest little slide in I've ever seen. I actually appreciate that greatly.
Oh,
because now you
man.
can point to the tweet and just say, well, I apologize.
Yeah.
I apologize. Sure.
Hayes, have you seen them together on a panel yet?
Yeah, they're in Chicago right now. They're on the Monday Night Football panel.
But have they done the old those two alone and
no,
Brian?
I don't think so. I guess they did a little dap to start the show, and I don't know. We'll see what comes of it. Nothing. It's all going to blow over, and the NFL's back, and look what we've already had.
Outrageous.
Between the opener and then the Friday night game.
Blew my mind.
And then, like, last night, okay, I'm going to make a statement here. You guys can all tell me if I'm right or wrong.
Yeah.
Josh Allen is the most entertaining athlete in pro sports, period. That includes McDavid, Ohtani, Alcaraz, Sinner, Lamar. I think he's the most entertaining athlete, period, in pro sports.
I'm not putting him ahead of McDavid. McDavid's the only guy that I'm putting in
I
behind.
was going to say Ohtani because Ohtani was throwing like 97 the other day.
I'm going to say yes.
Talking about at the park.
I'm going to say yes.
Dude, he's so fun.
I would say, though, that my two is Lamar. Like the scramble Lamar had.
That was absurd.
Where Bosa and Russo.
Absurd.
Like, these are two world-class athletes chasing him down.
Right.
But I would say yes. I would say Josh is one.
He's that good, man. He's that much fun.
Like
and
Josh,
he's a one-man show.
And Josh doesn't. He's got good players around him. I think the Bills have a lot of good players, but he doesn't have a Derrick Henry. Like Derrick Henry is from a different planet.
That guy's not a human.
He's not.
Dude,
Did you see him walk in?
was outrageous.
Did you see him?
I couldn't believe him fumbling.
I couldn't believe it either.
I don't think I've ever seen him do it, man.
With the game he had, for him to be on the wrong side of that fumble.
Yes.
And like Ed Oliver had himself a night last night.
Big night.
Too, man. Even though they gave up 40. That's what's crazy.
Well, how can you not? Like, if this is what I think if Baltimore, we talked a bit about this on Jay last night, is for me, I tip my cap to the Bills. You got to. You got to tip your cap to Josh Allen, the Ed Oliver, like the whole thing. And I'm not trying to take anything away from Buffalo. I'm saying if you were in Baltimore's locker room, you're sick to your stomach. I mean, you're up 15 with 4 minutes to go, and you've scored 40 points, and you lose 41-40. And again, it kind of goes back. This is what Baltimore will be saying, but you go back to how they got knocked out last year. You have the really bad turnovers by Lamar, and you had the drop by Andrews on the two-pointer late in the game.
Right.
And it's just like, hey, we're in cruise control. We're up 15. We've ran for 10 million yards. We've thrown for a bunch. And if we needed it, Lamar's cooked everybody as well. And it's like, pretty much all we got to do here is not fumble.
Yeah.
And then we fumble.
Exactly.
But then the crazier one to me was, okay, it's a bad bounce. Henry fumbles. You stop the two-pointer. It's like, get a couple first downs, and this thing's, it don't matter. What the fumble is irrelevant now, and you get stopped.
Here's another statement. I'm curious your answer on this because these guys responded. I think they're in agreement with me. I would implement a new rule as of today. If I'm a team owner in the NFL, I'd send an email to my coaches and I'd say, if you are in a scenario where it's 4th and short, I don't care where it is on the field.
I said this. I think I know where you're going.
And you punt to either Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, or Lamar Jackson, you're fired. You're fired.
I agree.
You're fired. And Harbaugh does it every single year.
I honestly, I sat there and I was like, okay, so D-Hop caught the little shallow route and it was like 4th and 2. And I had lightly brought it up last night on Jay's show as well, where I'm like, anybody else, you punt there.
Yeah,
if it's not one of those guys, you punt.
Sure.
But I'm like, Josh was doing whatever he wanted to your defense all night. The only reason you were up was because your offense was scoring at will.
Right.
Josh was having to manufacture.
Which gives you more reason to think you can get 2 yards.
Bingo. I'm like, dude, here are your options. It's 4th and 2, and you have Derrick Henry, and you have Lamar Jackson, and you can rest the game. You get a first down, and the game's over. Or you punt the ball, and you say, hey, guys, stop Josh Allen, who, by the way, has put 38 up against you right now.
Right.
I think you had, like, it was just like punt.
You had to go for it, man. You had to. And I think was there a timeout, too, or an injury or something? Like, he had time to think on it, and he still sent the punter out.
The other trippy one for me was when Jair Alexander had a tough night.
Can't make that tackle,
Coleman.
Man. You can't make that tackle.
Like, you got to be on the back end, like, hey, if we get burned here, let him score. Mm-hmm. And Coleman's a second-year guy. I wonder if he
was running that in, dude.
He was running that in.
He was Forrest Gump on his way to that. He would have kept running through the tunnel.
I agree.
Partsy, with the drops last year from the tight end, who was it, Andrews?
Andrews, yes.
Yeah.
And that last night, does that, and I know everyone's been heavy on Baltimore being the Super Bowl favorite, does that kind of take away a little? I know it's only the first game of the season, but last year, this year, like the clutch gene, does it kind of get into your head a little bit?
I think so, and that's where it's just such a strange phenomenon, and it happens across all leagues for me. But you look at Baltimore, and you're just like, get out of your own way. Even the idea that if, you that situation where it's like, hey, let's say Henry gets stopped and they don't get a first down, at least you punt it and Josh has to drive the field. You get the ball back on a tie game, because it was 8 points at that point.
Yep.
You're in control here. Like if you ask Baltimore, hey, Lamar's going to have the ball with some time left in a tie game, you feeling good about that? Yes. Like Lamar's in one of the three.
Exactly. He's one of the three guys.
Yes, but it's just like parts that you said it. I'm like, these guys, they just can't get out of their own way. And the dude was booming kicks, but here's the other one. Loop missed the extra point.
That's right.
That extra point turned out to be a pretty big point.
It was one of the craziest games I've ever seen.
They just got to get out of their own way.
It was amazing last night. And even the whole 2-point conversion thing started because of
they went early on it.
Yeah, an offside. And they're like, all right, let's go for 2 when they didn't have to.
Correct.
And then that threw the whole calibration of the game out of whack. All right, something to chew on brought to you by Boston Pizza, Canada's favorite sports bar. Enjoy $15 lunch at BP where you get an entree, a side, and a drink, and you'll get it all in 20 minutes or less. A fast lunch doesn't have to be fast food. See you for a $15 fast lunch at your local Boston Pizza. Asking people online, will or can Josh Allen and or Lamar Jackson, do they still have enough time in their careers to surpass the greatness of Patrick Mahomes? You think there's still enough time for them by the end of their careers to say they had a better career? They were greater than Mahomes?
I don't know, man.
Well, to me, now we're talking about definitions. And I'll ask you this. Like when you say a better career.
Are you talking about entertainment or rings?
I'm talking a greater career. I'm talking like, we're talking GOAT conversation. That's what I'm talking here. Do you think they can?
Let me ask
like
you this.
Mahomes is clearly still the guy of this generation.
Yeah.
Clearly still the guy.
Here's one, and I am on, just so you know, don't smoke me for this. I'm on the Brady side of this. But if you were to ask who had a better career between Peyton and Tom Brady, like Peyton's got a lot of records now. Best offense statistically ever. 5
MVPs, most ever.
Correct. Like so that's where it's like, it depends on, like to me, I would take Brady's career.
But I guess that's what we're talking about. Like, there still was a conversation. Now, I think once Brady got, like, the last 3 Super Bowls, it was kind of over. Certainly when he went to Tampa without Belichick, it was like
that
trump
was the
card.
one. That was, yes.
But, like, right now, Mahomes is still, in my opinion, the best player.
I think you're forgetting too quickly, Hayes. Like, you're a Super Bowl shellacking in a poor performance in Brazil, and now all of a sudden we're bringing other guys into the equation saying, you're going to have a better career than that guy. How quickly we forget how that it used to be this guy's automatic. He always wins that game.
Yes.
And a shellacking in a poor game in Brazil, and we're like, can these guys be better?
I guess. Let me lay it out for you. I'm going to answer no, because I think Mahomes has too much of a head start.
Yeah.
And he's still got 10 years, and I think they're going to be great. But if these guys are playing for 10 years, let's say Allen wins 2 Super Bowls in Buffalo with this roster and 2 more MVPs, is it conceivable in 10 years we say he was greater? I think that's possible.
I think right now,
but he's got to win. He's got to win
in the playoffs. Like if Buffalo goes and has let's say they're 15-2 this year, I don't care. I mean, I care because they're going to have the 1 seed. Like, sure, it's great. But like if he goes and they go 15-2 and they lose to Kansas City in the playoffs,
crushing.
It's going to be
crushing.
And even Mahomes, to further your point, O-Dog, you look at last season, and I hated this narrative. These guys went into the last week of the season, and they were 15-1.
Right.
Okay. And they didn't start. They didn't start Mahomes and lost to Denver. It was a meaningless game. So it's like, and they're like, oh, well, they're all close games. They're all close games. Every game is a close game. That's not a knock. If anything, that even proves more greatness. They found a way to get it done. So I do think that right now, because they got blown out in the Super Bowl, and you lose a tough opener in Brazil, which Mahomes made some ridiculous plays in that. Mm-hmm. Now all of a sudden everyone's cold on Patty Mahomes. I don't think we've seen the last of Patty Mahomes this year. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
Partsy, it's only 1 game, but if you had to put one person on notice after yesterday in a horrific effort, like who would you tap on the shoulder and say, it's only 1 game, but you're on notice?
Player or coach?
Coach, anything.
Brian Dable.
I was just going to say Dable.
Brian Dable.
And is that
I'm
partly
so sick
because
of
of
this
my
guy.
man, Danny Dimes?
Yes, and Danny. I mean,
Yeah.
No, Danny Dimes makes Dable look like a turkey.
Yeah.
and he deserves it. I would argue that Dable makes Dable look like a turkey, but Danny Dimes is the gravy now on top of that.
Well, Dable gets so angry so quickly.
Did you see neighbors yelling at him?
Oh, yeah, neighbor. And then he went up for the high five,
five,
and
and
neighbors
he's
goes,
like-
get out of here.
Yeah.
Well,
Like,
dude,
you're
you
not
see
gonna
how
be my
smart he
coach
acts
anymore.
when he's like, he's doing the interviews
Yes.
with quarterbacks and stuff, and he's like putting them down, and he's like, why would you do that? And he just makes himself look like such a hero. And in actuality, his team's been a joke ever since he got there.
Yeah.
I honestly,
stink.
you just said it, and that's what annoys me about the guy is you see these videos, and he acts like he's like a quarterback guru. And I'm
Yeah.
like, okay, at this point, I'm not just trying to say this, but it doesn't take much to coach Josh Allen. You know, he's the guy who was involved in Josh Allen. That's kind of what happens in this league sometimes. Well, since he's left, Josh Allen has gotten exponentially better. Okay, he's gone to New York. He's had all these ideas, none of which have worked. They looked awful yesterday. Awful.
Horrendous.
Like,
Horrendous.
it's hard to watch. And I sit there and they're like, what's weird to me is they're like right away, like Russ won the spot. Russ is the guy. Russ.
Why?
And I'm like, this looks like the Russ we saw in Denver. This looks like the same Russ we saw in Pittsburgh. Like, what has gone on to give you, like, you can't tell me they wouldn't have been better without Jameis Winston out there.
I was thinking, forget Jackson Dart. Put
Correct.
Winston out there.
Not alone playing the net. Why'd you need to get him at all?
It's ridiculous. And then again, you got a guy, Neighbors is in what, year 2?
Yeah.
Like,
And he's got uber talent. man.
talent. And he's sitting there like screaming at the head coach already. I can't fathom like a year 2 DK Metcalf coming in and ripping Pete on the sideline. Somebody would have went nuts on our team.
Right.
You know?
Someone would have grabbed the player and said,
Correct.
don't even think about doing
Like
that.
the year we won the Super Bowl, I'm trying to think like somebody who was in year 2 being like, yo, man, I'm going to go rip Pete a new one. Okay?
Yeah.
Cam Chancellor might have came over there and killed the guy.
Right.
Like, this is wild. This is the operation you're running in New York?
Not a good
That's-
scene.
And they would be hot today because of it. I mean, you know, it's New York,
Yeah.
but it's the Giants. They
And
suck.
Here's
I
the
mean,
thing, Noodles. Yeah.
And the Jets lost.
they
Dude, New
really-
York stinks.
Well,
The
that's what I was
defense
going to
played
say.
well.
That's where I was going to go, Luke, is, you know, what about your boy Aaron Rodgers?
Oh, let's go. Noodles, you're just teeing me up lately, man.
he looked
You're
pretty
teeing
good.
me up. Looked
He
pretty
looked-
good.
He looked pretty good. No, it's the Jets.
Four
Right?
Yes.
tutties.
I
Four
know.
tutties. Now, one of
I
them's a
know.
bit cheap. Well, the little, like, pop pass, it's like, that's really a handoff.
Still, man,
but
it was. They needed everything out of him yesterday.
He
The
looked
Steelers
great.
defense did nothing yesterday.
And I'll tell you this, 3 of his touchdowns were on the move. And I'm not saying he's a burner, but that was the whole thing last year. Oh, man, he's got no more mobility. Because one of the things when we played Aaron, I remember this back in the day, he's like, was unbelievable. We used to prep this and practice it all the time of, okay, there's the play, and then he just basically moved the pocket, and then he has the most electric arm in the NFL. I'm not saying that now, but back in the day, it was like, hey, he's not scrambling like Russ or some of these other quarterbacks, but it is still an off-schedule play. And I don't know if you guys heard Tom Brady talk about it. I think he was on Collinsworth podcast, and he was like, Aaron is the best thrower of the football, in his opinion, in the history of the NFL. Every quarterback that I talk to marvels at his arm strength. And do I think he has the exact same zip? No. But he can still sling that pill now.
And the precision is
Oh, my-
outrageous.
Right.
man.
It's incredible.
Yeah, he's got moxie. Like when he gets dancing back there, he's
The little
yeah. Well, he loves the little jump up, arm up.
Wow. You're
All
right.
those
like-
improv throws, like off the back foot,
Yes.
where he can just like sidearm it and it's a missile and somebody's like,
That's
those
the
are
thing.
impressive.
Dog, it's like he's not really set. Like the one touchdown he's rolling out, I think it was the third one. Might have been to Calvin Austin. And he like didn't even really have his foot in the ground, just flicks his wrist, and you're expecting like the ball to come out at a certain pace, but then it's like 3x on TV. You're like, oh my God.
Yeah,
Right at the
he's-
dude's chest.
he looked good.
I don't want to put the cart before the horse because it was the Jets, but
Yes.
he did look pretty good.
He looked good. He looked really good. And listen, he wasn't alone. There were a bunch of teams that looked good, and then some teams that looked bad. And I think the Packers-Lions game was a perfect example of two teams in two different spots.
Yeah. Yeah.
Partsy, what a call though, huh? A lot of people in here
You
named
know
Brian
I was
Hayes
going to
trying to
hammer
be on the
Packers,
Lions.
dude. I would have hammered the Packers, and I thought they looked great on both sides of the ball.
Phenomenal.
And I think what sticks out is like they were selective with using Parsons, but they knew what they had. Like, you don't acquire a guy with like Micah Parsons unless you know you got guys that the average fan isn't aware of.
I'll tell you what, to kind of further what you're saying, what jumped out at me, and obviously he's going to have a bigger package as he, continues to be there longer, but he looked fresh, and one of the things I would say is that in Dallas, when you're the main guy and now all of a sudden you're playing every snap, and it's like, and this is how you prep for this guy. Hey, every third down, we're going to chip up with a tight end on you. Hey, early in this game, we're going to take the tight end and make sure we do a divide zone, and someone's going to try and saw him in half. Like, you're always trying to wear him down throughout the game. Now, all of a sudden, when you've got a great defense like Green Bay has, and you don't even necessarily need him on certain downs, they stopped the run without him yesterday, gave up 2.1 yards per carry to a very good run team,
right?
And then be like, oh, it's 3rd and 7.
Chase.
Here's Micah Parsons for you boys.
Did you see how fast he looked when he had Jared Goff in his sights? Somebody had the best tweet there.
Yes.
Like, this is like a National Geographic video where, like, the cheetah has got, like, the old buffalo with the bum leg, and he's got him in his sights. And he's unreal. Outrageous, man.
You know what I loved about that, too?
Rejuvenated.
He didn't have to be on the field.
No.
It was 27-6.
No.
Game was over, and they said,
yes.
Go get one.
This has been
it's the Lions. Go get them.
There's Matt LaFleur needs to kind of be on top of this. I think we see here the if you're watching right now, that kind of effort, when he's playing with that kind of effort and he's bought in, he's
so good.
I mean, it's incredible. But there's been times in Dallas where you haven't seen that. And again, I'm not saying he's checked out mentally, but when you get beat up all game, when you're the only real guy on defense and you walk in on Wednesday, whoever is playing you, and it's like every chance we get, we're taking a shot at Micah Parsons, clean, nothing dirty.
Yeah.
It's a lot tougher than, hey, we got Rashad Gary here, Quay Walker, we got a lot of good DBs. Yeah. Like, it's not just Micah. He's going to flourish. So I think really LaFleur, though, needs to make sure that he's in a mental, he being Micah, is in a very good mental space, so you get more effort like that.
Big time. There was a great tweet last night. Someone posted Jared Goff without Ben Johnson, and they had a picture of Dan Orlovsky. Because, the Lions, man, like, both coordinators gone, Ragnow out.
That's a big
loss. Are you
loss.
reading into that, Parts? Is that like a thing? It seems like everyone's piggybacked off that one comment. It's obviously a fact. Everybody knows it. But one person said it, the coordinators are gone. Like, is that much of a big deal?
Yes and no. I don't think it's going to be that much of a big deal on offense. There's some bumps and bruises. They got behind the 8 ball, and it is what it is. It was a really tough showing for them. And I think also Lions fans have been very fortunate the last couple of years because they've had success at Lambeau. I'm telling you from firsthand experience, going into Lambeau at any time of the year is not an easy place to play.
Right.
So, and the Lions have done well there as of
3
recent.
years in a row prior to this.
But like prior to those 3 years, it was 40 years of
course.
Yeah. So there's
and
a
Green
lot
Bay
of
was
factors.
ready to play.
Yes. Now, I'll say this. The Lions I still believe in Jared Goff. I still believe in their weapons. They're incredible. So I do think that they'll figure it out. Their new OC, John Morton, will figure it out. Where I get nervous for them, and again, this is another thing we talked about in Jay yesterday, I personally don't think their defense is all it's cracked up to be. Even last year, they'd be like, it's the injuries. And I'm like, okay, they are injured, and that obviously hurt them a lot. But even when they're not injured, like, is this an elite defensive unit? I would say they're kind of middle of the road.
Well, here's another thing that would possibly concern me. They got the Bears at home next week. That becomes a must-win. You can't start 0-2.
Yeah.
Then they're at the Ravens, at home to the Browns, but at Bengals, at Chiefs, and then Bucks in town. Like, they got a really tough schedule.
They got an absolute bear of a schedule.
Really tough schedule.
And what's tough about that is that in this division, I mean, they could beat each other up, but, like, you're going to have to win a lot. Look at last year.
Right.
Them in Minnesota went down to week 18.
Well, and it's a perfect segue into the game tonight where Vikings, Bears, you got Ben Johnson making his debut at home, Soldier Field in Chicago. Vikings are -1.5.
Yeah.
J.J. McCarthy also making his debut as the quarterback of the Vikings tonight. It's a big swing game because Hazenbrough took care of business yesterday.
That was so – I could not – Partsy, I'm sitting there last night. We call the Pack game. We're all good, and I'm like, Ravens are up 15. We're gonna win tomorrow, and we're gonna develop the big lead early. And now our backs are against the wall.
I was nervous.
Outrageous.
Al's brother was leaning Ravens, and I talked him off the cliff and picked Bills, and he was sending me messages early.
Oh, God, would he
we're
be
cooked, we're done.
insufferable.
Ravens look unreal. I'm like, here we go.
Yeah.
And I know I'm waiting for.
Or Zudi came in and called you a fraud again.
Exactly. And I was waiting for. I was gonna have to send him the text at the end. Sorry, my bad pick.
Yeah.
And the win, and then he gets online. Dynasty, never a doubt.
So, of course, what a fraud.
He's the best.
Yeah.
All right, you guys are on the clock here. Vikings -1.5 in Chicago tonight.
Partsy, I'm going to tell you where my head's at, but I'm telling you, if you want the other way, you can take it. Okay, I've gone back and forth on this, and what's unfortunate is there's so many unknowns. What is Ben Johnson going to be like with Caleb Williams? I don't know. Okay, but there's
Do
a
you
but
even
here.
want to know? There's an element of that. Do you even want to know?
I don't.
You see this article that's out about Caleb Williams and like people that have left the Bears from last year, basically painting a picture that this guy was a disaster as a rookie.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yes.
Don't try to. Don't. I
I'm
know
just
what you
pointing
just
that
did.
out.
Nah.
Like,
I'm
like
just pointing it
define
out.
Hang on a
disaster,
second.
though.
A disaster how? Like a pain in the ass?
Doesn't matter. I shouldn't have piped
Yeah.
in.
Yeah.
Partsy,
No,
this
just
is
tell
what
me. A
I'll say.
disaster how?
Yeah. Let's put him.
Well, a disaster how? What do you? This is like Joe Pesci. What am I, funny? A disaster how? I asked you a question, Henry. I don't know. He said like work ethic wasn't great. Wasn't necessarily listening to coaches.
That's how when I buzz that film, I kind of think that he's one of those guys who like, hey, I'm just going to do this my own way. It kind of jumps out to me, and I'm like, yeah, that's not really how the NFL works.
Right. Now, all those coaches are gone,
Yes.
and he does have a new staff, and Ben Johnson in particular. Anyway, my bad. I shouldn't have chimed in. You guys are on the clock.
Brian Flores, obviously D coordinator for Minnesota. He's known for his crazy looks. He's known for very exotic packages. Ben Johnson has a lot of familiarity with him, but is Caleb going to go out there and execute it? I don't know. I really don't know. And then the flip side is JJ, and I'll be honest, we haven't seen much of JJ. Obviously, there's going to be some learning curves there. But the fact that Kevin O'Connell has basically decided to stick with JJ over keeping Sam Darnold, he obviously likes him. The guy's a quarterback guru. Outside of Sam Darnold late last year, Minnesota was pretty electric. I got to go with my lean, I should say, not got to go, is definitely to take the Vikings. But if you have an inkling to take the Bears.
Hayes just sold me with the comment. Like, I don't know if that was the motivation. I don't even know if it was true, but I chewed it up. I loved it.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Now I'm concerned because if you guys lose, you're going to blame Hayes for
tampering.
like that little
Tampering.
like
Little
it's
jab.
tampering. It's a
I'm worried about
tampering
J.J.
comment.
McCarthy. Like, what the hell is
That's
he
what
all
we're-
about?
I
too?
agree.
Concern me,
Like,
dude. Deer
this
in
is
the
a greasy
headlights.
game.
Yeah,
to
like this
pick.
isn't Michigan, man.
No,
Correct.
man.
But again, when we sit here, even Friday, I know we missed the pick Friday, but I'm like, opening day in Brazil, like it's very hard for me to not.
Very
pick
tough.
Mahomes.
Yeah,
So
very tough.
I don't call that a brutal pick,
No.
but it's like this one. I don't know. Like I'm
Coin
not
flip
an
game.
I'm an anti Caleb Williams guy right now. I'm not a huge fan of the way he plays, and I have no idea about J.J. McCarthy. And now we go into head coaches, and one of them has never been a head coach before, so that's why I'm going with O'Connell.
All right. You guys you locking that in? You're taking the Vikings?
Partsy.
Vike up.
All right.
Skull.
All right. Al's brother has already chimed in.
What is he saying? What is
Rookie
that?
quarterback making his debut on the road on Monday Night Football in a divisional game. Tough Bears defense. What a brutal pick. Al's brother loves
Listen,
that
the
we're on
guys
the
won the
Bears
natty.
tonight.
The guys won the natty. He
Okay.
can handle a big moment.
Lock it in. Big swing early, man. Big swing.
I don't want to
early.
be down too early. I really
It's
don't.
a big, big swing. All right, Owen Wilson on the Vikings, laying the points, 1.5 in Chicago tonight, Monday Night Football. All right, buddy. We'll catch you on the panel, TV tonight. Jay, the whole nine.
Can't wait.
All right, there he is, Luke Wilson. Owen Wilson, the pick is in. Pro Athlete Salute. Tim Kirkshin on tipping pitches and why the Yankees are so good at it and who can stop them. We'll get to that next.
Week 1 of the NFL wraps up tonight on TSN 1050 as J.J. McCarthy makes his Minnesota Vikings debut against Caleb Williams and the Chicago Bears. Coverage starts at 8 p.m. Hear it all on TSN 1050. The NFL lives here.
Now, back to OverDrive with Hayes, Noodles, and the O-Dog.
All right, Best powered by FanDuel later in the hour on the Monday Nighter. Jay's off today, back in action tomorrow. So Ben Rice hit a 3-run home run off Scherzer early in the game yesterday, and kind of set the tone for the game. And afterwards, during the game, people realized, okay, what's going on here? The Yankees have a reputation of, relaying pitches, and they're obviously the Jays are tipping them, and it's been an issue with Scherzer in particular.
When their pitching coach is pointing thumbs up to go upstairs in the dugout, that's not a good start to begin with.
Right.
No, exactly. And what's amazing though is how outward the Yankees are about this. Like Bellinger, who was on first, saw the sign, sent the message to Judge, who then sent it back to Rice. Like, this is what's coming. He's throwing a changeup, I believe it was. And Bellinger was asked about it by the Daily News after the game. Why don't you bother hiding your pitch tipping? And he said, quote, I have no idea. And he admitted that the Yankees are so obvious about it, while a lot of other teams try to be discreet. And he did confirm exactly what the video showed, that it was Bellinger to Judge to Rice, and the ball left the field. To chat about this, somewhat gray area in baseball, we're joined now by ESPN analyst Tim Kirkjian. Tim, where do you stand on, the Yankees' proficiency in this area and why they're so blatant about, pitch tipping?
Well, I think I have a slightly different view on this. If you do it properly, meaning without any sort of technological help, like a camera or something like that, I believe that's your responsibility to relay to your teammates what's going on. Ted Simmons was the best at this when he was with the Brewers, and he taught it to Paul Molitor, who then taught it to all the Blue Jays in a year in which they won the World Series. It's great gamesmanship. That's how I view it. Now, should you be blatant about it? Should you let everyone know this is what we're doing? Maybe that's not a great idea, but it's the responsibility of the defense to make sure that the signs are not being stolen. Because if they are, then it's the fault of the defense, not the offense. If the Blue Jays were doing the same thing, I would say the exact same thing. Mm-hmm. It's your responsibility to hide the signs so they don't steal it.
How are they getting them, Tim?
I don't know the answer to that. If it's something other than they're peeking and seeing on the bases what's going on, then shame on the team that is getting the signs stolen. Again, I'm a big believer in this, and yet Cal Ripken, Tony Gwynn told me along the way in a story I wrote just about this topic a long time ago, I don't want anybody telling me what's coming because I don't trust anyone other than myself. What if they're wrong? And we've had a lot of people wrong doing this. So my point is this is gamesmanship. This is part of the game, and it's up to the offense. It's their responsibility to try to figure out what he's doing, if he's tipping or not, and it's their responsibility to pass it along to their teammates if they want it.
Yeah, that's the flip side of it, and that's a great point. Like another analogy I would use is golf. Sometimes you don't want to read another guy's putt because you don't trust that, he actually hit the putt the way he wanted to, or he misread it. And it's the same kind of thing. Like, what if you're waiting on information and they're saying change up and Scherzer throws 197 on the black? Then who do you blame? You look at your teammates and say, thanks. Maybe I didn't need that information.
Right. George Bell, again, another Blue Jay, who was really good at this, was one of the best at relaying stolen signs to his teammates, and yet George Bell didn't want anybody telling him what was coming next because he got crossed up once, he got hit, and because he expected something else to come, and he said, no more of that. So this is a fascinating discussion. This just happens to be the Yankees and the Blue Jays over the weekend, but it goes on every single night at every single ballpark. And when the people involved that I've talked to you about, Paul Molitor, Ted Simmons, Cal Ripken, Tony Gwynn, George Bell, guys are all really, really good players who know exactly what they're doing. And the really smart players know how to deal with this.
Tim, how would you describe the state of the Jays right now? Are they leaking oil? Should they still be confident? Just where do you think they're at?
I think they're the best team in the division. I think they're going to win the division. I love their starting pitching, even though Max Scherzer wasn't great last couple times out. I still love their six-man rotation. I love that depth. Jeff Hoffman at the end, forget his ERA for the moment. He is a quality closer on a championship caliber team. And this is a really good offensive club when the boys in the middle are swinging it, and they really are. Starting with the guy at the top, which I'm just amazed how many people wondered if he still got it. And not only does he still have it, he's a terrific player. And Bo Bichette's great. And Vlad Guerrero just got 8 hits in 3 games at Yankee Stadium. So I really like where the Blue Jays are. Does that mean they're a great team that's going to run away with it and win the American League for sure? Absolutely not. There is no such team in the American League like that. But I like them better than any team in the division. And that's saying something because the Red Sox have been pretty darn good since the beginning of July, and the Yankees have a big run left in them, and I think the Blue Jays hold them both off.
Yeah, and as of today, the Jays have a 2-game lead on the Yankees, 3.5 up on the Red Sox. They still play Boston in a 3-game series upcoming, yet they have the tiebreak on both teams. So they really are in the driver's seat, and, the guy you were talking about at the top would be George Springer. And, we got into this yesterday because in Toronto – we understand the MVP is either Judge or Raleigh, clearly. It's one of those two guys in the American League, and whoever doesn't win it is going to finish second. The odds makers would suggest Tarek Skubal's probably number 3. I'm curious if you think Springer's got a shot at that, considering how great he's played this year. Could he be the 3rd most valuable player in the American League?
I would say no. I would say he's going to get a bunch of MVP votes. And when I say that, he'll get 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, all the way up to 10th. Mm-hmm. And again, 2 years ago, I don't think anyone thought he'd get another MVP vote that high. But this is the turnaround that he's made. He's a freakish athlete, and we're starting to see it again. But I think you could make a case that Bo Bichette and Vladdy Jr. are just as valuable to the Blue Jays as Springer is, but he's been so good at the most important times. Yes, he's going to get some really nice support. He's going to get some MVP votes, and he's going to deserve them.
With Tim Kirkjian, yeah, he's been outstanding. You mentioned Vladdy at Yankee Stadium. He's made a career in that park, man. His numbers are off the charts. He loves playing in New York. And it sets up possibly, for what we could see come the playoffs if these two teams run into each other. And you mentioned the starting rotation, which you're bullish on them. You're not alone. A lot of people are. But Scherzer in particular has been somewhat of a conundrum all year because of the injuries early in the season. He strikes out 1 million guys. He did it over the weekend again. But where do you stand on the trust level you would still have with Scherzer come October?
Well, I got to see how the next 3 weeks go, and then a very difficult decision will have to be made because somebody good is going to get left out of the playoff situation in the first round, and if they advance after that. And it could be Scherzer that gets left off. However, if he's great the next 3 weeks, and I have no doubt he's going to be good, at least good, the next 3 weeks, and he's got all that postseason experience, I think he would get a start in a postseason game. Now, again, it's all dependent on the next 3 weeks, and I'll take experience at that time of year over almost anything else. Although when you have spectacular stuff like some of the Mets do on a different level, they're going to take these young kids with spectacular stuff and say, go get them. Let's see. Forget about the inexperience. We'll take stuff over inexperience any day. I understand that. But when you have an experienced pitcher who still has very good stuff like Max Scherzer, I would want him starting for me in the postseason.
Well, I think we're fairly confident. Again, Jays, Yankees, Tigers, Houston are going to make it. But all of a sudden, we got a race for that 3rd wild card spot. Seattle, Texas, Kansas City, Cleveland. As of today, if you had to pick one to make the playoffs, which team's going to make it?
I think the Red Sox are going to make the playoffs. And, well, we get two wild cards, and I think Seattle's going to make the playoffs, meaning I'm not betting on Kansas City or Texas. I would love to say Texas because the way they've played lately, but without Marcus Semien, without Corey Seager, their health up in the air at the moment. I don't see Cleveland, Kansas City, or the Rangers overtaking the Red Sox or the Rays or the Mariners for another wild card spot.
Always great catching up with you, Tim. We'll do it again soon. Thank you for this.
Okay, fellas, take care. See ya.
Tim Kirkchin of ESPN joining us here on the Maple Toyota Hotline. Drive the built-in Canada fuel-efficient, fun-to-drive Toyota RAV4. Gas or hybrid models available. Visit mapletoyota.com.
How the hell did Cleveland crawl back into the race with all the nonsense that's going on there?
They got a minus 48 run differential. And Tampa's 4 games out. Now they've lost 3 in a row. They got swept over the weekend. But they're in it. Cleveland, Kansas City, Texas. Seattle's melting. We'll see what comes of it. But New York was the epicenter yesterday because you had the Yankees, Jays, and then you had Alcaraz, Sinner. And, Alcaraz just put on a clinic yesterday. And those two.
He's 22, Sinner's 24. What the hell are, the next 10 years?
That's those two.
Yeah.
It's going to be those two in the majors.
Do you think that's good for men's tennis, that it's just a formality? These two are always in the final?
I don't know.
French Open, Wimbledon, U.S. Open, it was what's the point of watching? You're just going to see they just spank everybody.
I'd like to see somebody push into there, make it a
well, obviously the Canadian, the Canadian Felix, he had everybody, he had the crowd kind of on his side to break through, but it was a different class, man. Nobody's even, it looks like nobody's close.
It doesn't seem like anybody's close.
No. Who did Sinner beat the other day? And the guy went up to him at the net and was like, "You're so good." He's like, "You're ridiculous how good you are."
Yeah.
That's what he was saying to him as he was shaking hands after Sinner just rinsed him.
Crazy.
Crazy.
Djokovic saying the same thing. Someone pointed it out that Djokovic, it goes Sinner and Alcaraz, then Djokovic, and then a big gap to whoever's 4. Djokovic is still way better than everyone else.
Yeah.
And he admits, I just can't play with these guys anymore. I can't do it anymore. I can't 10 years ago, I could.
They're so fast and quick and strong. It's impossible.
Yeah. It's impossible. Alcaraz is an animal on the court. He is so fast, and Sinner is tall and lanky, and he just gets to everything. It's incredible to watch. I don't know. I know we went through it with Nadal and Djokovic and Federer, where those 3 guys seemingly won every single slam, but it was 3 of them, and every once in a while, Murray would show up or someone else might show up. Right now, just might be an overreaction, but it seems like a formality. These 2 guys are going to be in the final of every single slam.
I think if you're a tennis fan or any kind of fan that just tunes in the final, you take it.
Yeah, you're right.
You just mentioned the drop-off. I mean, if a Canadian, obviously Canadians would be excited if Felix can make something happen or someone else, but you take the best 2 guys and watch it happen every time. Why not?
It is incredible theater to see them once
they
you
are
get
that
there.
much better than everyone else, so just take it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess you lock it in. Just give it. I guess we'll see in Australia, and it's probably going to be the 2 of those guys.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Which, again, you look at the different eras. I was thinking about it with quarterbacks last night, where we just went through, for the first 20 years of the century, Brady and Manning and Breeze and Rodgers and Roethlisberger. And now we've just transitioned into this next wave of just unbelievable generational talent quarterbacks. And it's the same thing in tennis, where it was Federer and Djokovic and Nadal. Now these 2 freaks have shown up, and you're like, these 2 might be better than the other guys.
Yeah.
We might be 15 years away from saying Alcaraz is better than all of them, or Sinner's better than all of them. That's how good these guys are. Yeah. Scary. All right, Best Bets powered by FanDuel coming up. Overdrive continues, TSN 1050 and on TSN 4.
Week 1 of the NFL wraps up tonight on TSN 1050 as J.J. McCarthy makes his Minnesota Vikings debut against Caleb Williams and the Chicago Bears. Coverage starts at 8 p.m. Hear it all on TSN 1050. The NFL lives here.
Now, back to Overdrive with Hayes, Noodles, and the O-Dog.
Put some miles on it.
All right, Best Bets powered by FanDuel. Make your picks and assemble a same-game parlay in seconds on the FanDuel Sportsbook app. Fading Owen Wilson here. Bears money line. Romo Donze to score a touchdown, anytime touchdown scored tonight. Justin Jefferson, 80-plus yards, alternate receiving yards, prop paying plus 700. Ooh. Jefferson's going to catch. It doesn't matter who's throwing to him. Darnold didn't look great yesterday either in Seattle. We should point that out. Sammy Darnold, he's out of Minnesota. McCarthy, I'm a little bit scared of him, but I think he's going to get the ball in the air, and Jefferson's going to make plays, and he'll have yards after the catch and all that. Odunze, I think, is going to break out this year. Top 10 pick last year. And I think the Bears at home, Ben Johnson, that's paying big plus money. Best bets powered by FanDuel. Same game parlays this NFL season now include passing touchdowns and receptions on the FanDuel Sportsbook app. Please play responsibly, 18 plus, physically located in Ontario. So, yeah, we got the Monday Nighter tonight. Got Jays back in action tomorrow. We've got the NHL doing their media tour down in Vegas. We'll see what else comes out of that. I'm sure a lot of players being asked about their memories of Ken Dryden as well. Condolences to the Dryden family, of course. So the great Ken Dryden passing away over the weekend.
I loved him.
Man,
he was such a good
as
guy.
a goalie, like how many times did you stand and hold your stick like Dryden as a goalie?
He was like 6'4", so I'm obviously my career was number 29. Like that was Ken Dryden was one of my favorites. I read his book, The Game. Like the weirdest part about this, and I think I've told you guys, when you cross paths with like legends, like this guy called my house one time. My mom was like, "Yeah, this Ken Dryden called." It didn't put two and two together. He was like advocating for Cornell University, and like they were, whatever, trying to get me to go there.
Isn't that an Ivy League school?
Well, I did have good grades, and I actually was.
Oaks claimed he was going to Harvard.
Story before.
You're claiming you're going to Cornell now.
Full letter.
Dude, you two are so full of it,
I've told you guys this story before.
Yes.
I had good grades, and yes, colleges called me. I just didn't go his direction or whatever.
All right.
Yes,
Ivy
Ken Dryden
League.
and Joe Newendike called, like, advocating for their school.
All right.
So, anyways, I've talked to him on the phone. Like, obviously, legend here too. He was
president of the Maple
president of the Leafs.
Absolutely,
like, that's a big job. Like,
huge.
I loved him though. I loved him as a goaltender. Only got to know him again a little bit as a person, but condolences.
Yes, condolences on just the passing of Ken Dryden, and just an incredible life, incredible career. His story about coming up late in the season, he ends up winning the Conn Smythe.
I know.
Wins the Cup, Conn Smythe, before he's even eligible for the Rookie of the Year. The 72 series, of course, he was a huge part of that.
That's the crazy
just
thing.
incredible.
Like all the things written yesterday, everyone was like, he didn't play that long, but won 6 Stanley Cups. It was like, holy crap.
Yeah,
I know.
And like packed it in like early in his career. Like could have played a lot longer, but that's he was a legend, and big loss, and that was sad news to come out. It's unfortunate.
Yeah, it was again, I guess, very private. A very private man. A lot of people said that they were close to him, unaware that he was as sick as he was. Yeah. But you're right. Whenever you see, the Habs legends, like when Guy Lafleur passed away, you look at their like the win-loss percentages of those teams in the 70s and 80s.
Outrageous.
There's nothing like it.
There's nothing like it in the 70s. And to say nothing of clearly in the 50s when like Richard was there, and 60s with Beliveau and Richard, and I mean that 70s dynasty though by the Habs, that very well could be the greatest team ever put together.
You know what people will say? Was there only 6 teams or whatever? Now there's 32. Like I get it, but it's still back then. The amount of legends that came out of Hall of Famers, all of that type of stuff, outrageous.
Incredible.
Yep, that's storied history. At some point here in the next couple of weeks, like we'll be going over teams. What are they going to look like? Standings, what we feel like, all of our gut instincts.
Yeah, the gut instinct's coming, man. And that maybe that's going to be a big part of the tagline, right? Like the tagline, we're still asking for people to send in their suggestions on what the tagline of the show should be moving forward, and a lot of people are texting in, emailing in, sending in DMs.
There's got to be a good one that just encapsulates us. I don't know what it is.
There's been so many that I've been reading, and I'm trying to like archive them all. And I got to go over it tonight, find out exactly what's going on. But we're going to whittle this thing down.
There's going to be one in there.
Yeah, there's some good ones in there. It's going to be something self-deprecating. It's just the nature of the way things go.
Yeah.
Right? Like it's going to be something about our looks or the way we sound, or
well, maybe solid 6 out of 10 still comes back at it, right?
It does kind of ring out pretty well. I mean, that's kind of the nature of the looks, the show, the takes, the vibe. 6 out of 10, right? That's all we're looking at. You bat 6 out of 10. That's pretty damn good.
That's not too bad. That's what Strutty claims he is all the time.
6 out of 10.
Well, he
6
thinks
out of
he's
10 is
a 10
respectable.
or an 8 or something, but he's a 6.
6 out of 10. That's fine.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with it being a 6 out of 10.
Yeah.
All right, boys. Good stuff. Good stuff to everyone behind the scenes for helping out. We appreciate it. Everyone for tuning in today. TV, radio, podcast, web, up on YouTube Live on TSN's YouTube channel. Every show up there on YouTube Live. We're out of here. Enjoy your evenings. Enjoy the games tonight. We're back tomorrow at
Noodles, great job today. 4 p.m.
We'll chat then.